Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name is Kelsey, and today I'm offering you a pranayama and yoga practice to help you reset. So maybe it is a physical reset that you need, maybe it is a mental or emotional reset. But whenever I think about resetting, I just think about giving ourselves a moment of pause, a moment to begin new again after we step away from the reset activity, the reset practice. You might think of your mind like a computer, and at any given point in the day, you might have several different tabs open, or maybe even multiple tabs and multiple windows open at the same time. And so in our practice today, let's think about closing down each of those tabs, each of those windows, hitting restart on the whole thing so that we can kind of go back to those factory settings and step into the rest of the day feeling refreshed and feeling like we have a springboard for the rest of the day. So we'll begin our practice with pranayama. So I'm sitting up on a blanket. You could be sitting on a blanket, a pillow, or bolster, anything that just makes it a little bit easier for you to sit for an extended period of time, not too long. I also have 2 blocks for this practice. I like to practice with a couple of blocks nearby just in case my body is asking for that support, but if you don't have any, you don't necessarily need them. So find your nice comfortable seat, Sukhasana, Siddhasana. You just want to be able to feel your lower body be grounded and heavy, and then lengthen up through the base of your spine, all the way through the crown of the head, shoulders dropping back and down. And you could close your eyes or just have a soft gaze past the tip of your nose. And begin by just noticing your breath, noticing that it's there. And I know sometimes it can be a little bit tricky right away to sense the breath, so it could be helpful to take a deep breath in through your nose and then sigh it out. And then just notice if you can feel the edges of your breath a little bit more. And then take a couple more moments in silence to just get clear with yourself of what it is that you're resetting today. What called you to this practice? And then you don't need to be attached to whatever came up for you. Just trust that this practice will meet you where you are today. And all you have to do is be open to letting go of anything that feels like it's overwhelming or it's holding you back, and open to expansion, open to things changing, open to new beginnings. And then we'll begin our pranayama practice. Very simple samavritti, equal inhale, equal exhale. And we'll add a breath hold eventually. So you'll start by taking an inhale for nothing, and exhale for nothing. And on your next inhale, count how long your inhale is naturally. And then pause, and then exhale for that same count. So if your inhale was 4, your exhale should be 4. Pause at the bottom. And then inhale for 4 again, or whatever your count was. And then exhale for that same count. And then continue with this rhythm. It doesn't matter how short or long your breaths were, it's just about getting the inhales and exhales equal. Take one more round like this, equal inhale, equal exhale. And the next inhale, same count. And then you'll hold the breath at the top for the length of your inhale. And then exhale for your count. You'll pause at the bottom for your exhales count. And then inhale for your count. Pause, hold for the count. Exhale for your count. Hold your count. And then inhale again, resuming with your count. Continue on your own. Your inhales, your exhales, and the holds between those are all the same length. Final round. After your last hold, after the exhale, you'll inhale naturally, not gasping for air, just slow inhale in through your nostrils and then exhale naturally, slow and mindful. And take a moment to just notice how that little bit of breathing and stillness can already help to reset the mind, the emotions. And then as you're ready, flutter your eyelids open, letting the light back in. And now we'll move to give a little body reset and mind. Even moving the body can be so good for the mind. So we're going to come down onto the belly for a pose called Restorative Crocodile. You can start by coming through your table and then lower all the way down to the belly. Just stack either your hands or your forearms on top of each other and rest your forehead down onto that stack. Toes are reaching back. Relax along your spine. And feel all of the parts of you in contact with your mat. Feel as though you could breathe into these spaces. Like every inhale, you are receiving energy, receiving vitality, nourishment. And every exhale, you're letting go of what is not nourishing, what feels like it's depleting or overwhelming. Throughout your practice, try to stay with those equal inhales and exhales as best as you can. You don't have to necessarily be counting your breath, but you can if that works for you. Inhale and start to prop yourself up onto your forearms and your elbows for your Sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders, forearms parallel, palms face down. Press down into the tops of your feet, press down into the front of your pubic bone, pull your heart through your arms, reach up through the crown of your head. Continue to breathe. Let's take the right knee out to the right for half frog. And so the knee is about the height of your hip, your toes point out to the side, and your ankle is also in line with your knee. Everything in the upper body is staying the same. You're still in that Sphinx pose, but now we're getting a little bit of a hip opener here. Relax your jaw. You can have a soft gaze past the tip of the nose, or you could close your eyes. A couple more breaths here. And then inhale, lift this right elbow by pressing into the right palm. Thread your left arm under your body and reach it through. And then roll over that left shoulder towards your back for a reclined twist. The right leg is reaching across the body. Reach your right shoulder down towards the mat. And take a few more breaths here. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll back towards your belly. And you can extend your right leg long again. Prop yourself back up onto your elbows. We'll move into open wing, a big chest opener. You'll reach your right arm out beside you, palm face down, making sure that the wrist and the elbow are aligned with the shoulder. And then roll onto your right side. So that right arm is going behind you. You can relax your head down onto your mat. And you can keep your left hand in front of you. You can simply stack your legs here. You might like to step the left foot behind you, pointing the left knee towards the ceiling. Or others might like to take a quad stretch here. So you're going to keep your legs in line with your hips. And then bring your left heel towards your left glute. Reach the left hand behind you. And then see if you can pull that left heel closer in towards you. And you're leaning back with the body to get that stretch in the front of the right chest and shoulder. A couple more breaths here. On an exhale, release what you're holding on to if you're holding on to anything at all. Bring the left hand in front of you if it's not there already. And then we'll roll towards the belly again. Return to your restorative crocodile. Take a little break and notice the difference between your right and your left. And then let's take all of that to the other side. So we'll start by popping up into our Sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders, pulling the heart through, a little back bend, a little heart opener. Shoulders away from the neck. Finding that breath connection. Begin to take your left knee out to the left. Your half frog, knee is the height of your hip, ankle in line with the knee, toes point out. From your half frog, press into the left palm, lift the left elbow, thread the right arm under you, reach it through, and then roll over that right shoulder towards your back, reaching your left arm out beside you, keeping the left leg crossed over the body for the twist on this side. A few breaths here. One more breath in this twist. Exhale, roll towards your belly again. Come back through that Sphinx pose, and then we'll take open wing to the left side this time. So your left arm is going to go out beside you, palm face down, wrist and elbow aligned with the shoulder. Roll over onto your left side. Let your head be heavy onto the mat. Your legs can stay stacked as mine are here. You can keep your right hand in front of you for support, or you could step the right foot back. That feels best for some people. Another option is to find the quad stretch, keeping your knees in line with your hips, bending the right knee to bring your heel towards your glute, and reach back through with the right hand. A few breaths. Relax your neck and your jaw. One more breath in, and then let go of whatever you're holding on to. If you were holding on to something, right hand in front of you, and slowly roll towards your belly again. Return to that restorative crocodile. Take a little rest here. From here, we'll slide the hands under the shoulders, press down to roll up into your tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. You're welcome to pad your knees with a blanket here if that is most supportive for you. Cats and cows. Inhale, lift your sits bones, drop your belly, pull your heart through and lift your head. Shoulders away from your neck. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin towards your throat, tuck your tailbone down. Inhale for the cow pose, drop your belly, lift your head, lift your sits bones. Exhale, round it all in, tailbone tucks down, head down. Take a few more. You can move with your breath. You can take it off the railroad tracks if that would feel good to you. Maybe taking the hips or the ribs in circles. Finally, on your next inhale, come back through a neutral position. Tuck your toes, walk your hands forward a little bit ahead of where you had them before, and then press down into your feet. Lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. First one of the day, so you could alternate the bends of your knees, pedal out your feet. Stay with those steady, equal breaths. And then find some stillness. Let the weight of your head go. Take a few breaths here. This pose can really feel like a reset sometimes. It is considered a resting pose in Vinyasa Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Sun Salutations. But it can take some time for it to feel like that. So if it doesn't really feel restful right now, no worries. It is just kind of a place to check in. On your next inhale, look towards your hands, and then we're going to step the right foot between the hands. This is where I'm going to grab onto my blocks and bring them underneath the hands on the highest setting so I have more space between me and the floor. And then we're going to lower the left knee down into Asana, our low lunge. Shoulders roll away from the neck, pull your heart through, lift your head, chin is parallel to your mat, gaze can go down past your nose. Draw a little bit of energy up through the pelvic floor. And take several breaths here, just starting to let the hips be a little bit heavier. On our next inhale, let's press down through everything that's touching the mat. Reach the arms forward and up, Anjaneyasana, the full expression of the shape. And then we're going to take left arm forward, right arm back into an open twist here. Gaze can go straight out to the side, or you can send it back behind you. Take a couple more breaths to really work the twist. Inhale, right hand goes forward and up. Exhale, hands come down to the blocks. Just move them out of the way. We're going to step back into downward dog again. Tuck the left toes, plant the palms, step it back. And then you can shift the hips side to side. Pedal the feet again, anything that feels good to you. Find some stillness again. And use these next couple of breaths to reset. Okay, next inhale, look forward. Step the left foot between the hands, lower the right knee down. Come onto the blocks if you're using them. Excuse the creaky old floors in this building. Pull your heart through. Lift up through your heart, lift your head, gazing down past the nose. Just a little bit of time, getting mostly a stretch here, waking up your legs. And then we'll find the full expression, squeezing the inner thighs together, grounding down through everything touching the mat. Reach the arms forward and up, Anjaneyasana, shoulders over the hips here. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist towards the left this time. Right arm forward, left arm back. Every exhale, navel draws inward and upward. Every breath in, think about growing taller through the crown of your head. And maybe eventually your gaze goes back towards that left hand. Maybe not, it's okay. Take 2 more breaths here. Feel out the pose. Inhale, left arm goes forward and up. Exhale, hands onto the blocks. This time, tuck the right toes, lift the back knee, step the right foot up, and make your way into Uttanasana, your standing forward fold. I'm moving my blocks out of the way for this, but you can keep the blocks there if it's most supportive to you. Let your head be heavy. Shoulders still pull away from the neck though, and then allow for a little bend of your knees. Fingertips can stay on the blocks or the mat, or you could grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Think about your head being as heavy as a bowling ball, and it's tractioning out your spine. You might like to take a couple of sways side to side. And then just slowing that back down. Let go of your arms if you were holding on to them, fingertips to blocks or to the mat. And then widen your feet, toes point out, heels point in. Start to let the hips drop down into your malasana, your yogi squat. Elbows to the insides of the thighs, hands come to heart center. You can always pop a block underneath your seat if that's the most supportive place for you to be today. Keep lifting up through the heart space, reach up through the crown of your head. Weight is dropping down into your heels. And the arms are pressing the knees open. And then the thighs are squeezing back in to help you find a little bit of a lift here. Take 2 more breaths. One more breath in. Exhale with control. You can bring your hands back behind you for support and then just lower your hips down. You could do it without your hands if you want a little bit more of a challenge. Come to a seat. We're taking Baddha Konasana, our seated bound angle. So heels go out, soles of the feet together, and then take your hands to the insides of your feet, thumbs to the soles of the feet. Just start to give yourself a little bit of a massage here. You can start in the center and then work your way up towards the ball joints of the toes. Maybe working individually or working in big sweeps with the thumbs. Thinking about opening a book as you work your way from the inside out. You can also rub the tops of the feet. Just give them some love. They do so much for us, carry us from place to place. And then holding on to your feet wherever is accessible, take a breath in, lift your heart. Exhale, send your heart forward. Keep grounding down through your sits bones. Eventually let the head become heavy. Maybe bring your arms out in front of you for support. Baddha Konasana, bound angle forward bend. Next, inhale, lift your head. Exhale, press into your hands to walk yourself back in. Use your hands under your thighs to help the knees come back up like you're closing a book. And then you can scoot your booty to the center of your mat. Slowly roll down onto your back. Pause in your constructive rest pose. Feel the lower back flat to the mat, soles of the feet grounded. And again, this pose can feel like a little bit of a reset. And then make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart. Arms down beside you, your feet should be just outside of the graze of your fingertips or maybe just within their reach. And then on your next inhale, press into your feet and your arms and lift your hips, roll up through your spine. Lift your chest towards your chin and your chin towards the sky for your bridge pose. Stay here on the exhale. And keep breathing. Big inhale in, press into your feet. Exhale, navel to spine. Inhale, lift your chest a little bit more, maybe wiggle your shoulders under you. Exhale, drag your heels back towards you. Feel the glutes, the hamstrings activating. One more breath in like this. Exhale, slowly, mindfully roll down one vertebrae at a time, all the way back down. Hips meet the ground last. Pause whenever you get there. Notice how your back feels. And then we'll take one more twist before we finish off the practice in Shavasana. Just pull your knees in, open the arms out into a T shape or a cactus shape. Let both of your knees drop to the right. You can use your right hand on that left leg to give a little bit of weight, a little bit of pressure. Breathe into your ribs. Next inhale, float your legs up. Exhale, legs go to the left. Again, left hand can be on top of the right leg. Reach your right shoulder down. Breathe into your ribs, several breaths here. Next inhale, bring the legs back up. Finally, give yourself a big squeeze. You can hold on to the fronts of the shins. You can lift your nose towards your knees, curl into a big ball. Take a big breath in. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Fingers to toes. And then exhale. Release everything to your mat. Into your Shavasana, your final resting pose here. Please do not skip out on this. This can be one of the most beneficial things you can do to reset. And so just letting yourself soften into any supports beneath you. And you'll hear my voice when it's time to come back into the space. Enjoy your Shavasana. Remaining just as you are, begin to deepen your breath, begin to wiggle fingers and toes, Let these movements get larger as you feel ready. Maybe eventually they turn into a big full body stretch, breathing in and out. And then you can bend your knees in again, roll over to whichever side is your favorite, and then come on up to a seat. No hurry at all. And just sit up nice and tall when you get here. And notice the impact of your practice on you today. With gratitude in our hearts, palms together in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. We'll close with a chant of Om one time, wherever you are with your breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to chant. Om. Thank you so much for joining me today for this reset pranayama and yoga practice. I hope that this practice has served you well. Be sure to let me know how it went for you in the comments down below. And also please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I put out new yoga classes every single Sunday completely for free. And sometimes I throw a special one in there for special occasions or just for fun, just in the middle of the week. So if you enjoyed the practice, I hope that we can practice together again very, very soon. And until then, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.